State Senator Mark Liias on an absolute bender over the weekend, spewing lies on his government social media account about what would happen if voters repeal the Climate Commitment Act in November. This segment is brought to you in partnership with our friends over at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org. So Mark Liias sends out two back-to-back tweets. And this is a preview of the lies that we're going to continue to hear about this initiative heading to November. The first one, he said, I-2117 would repeal the Climate Commitment Act, stripping $4.5 billion in funding from transportation projects across Washington. That devastation would force difficult choices, potentially risking our ability to fund critical bridge maintenance. And I'm thinking, what? CCA money is being spent on critical bridge maintenance? And then he follows that up with this one. I-2117 would repeal the Climate Commitment Act, stripping $4.5 billion for transportation funding projects across Washington. That devastation would force difficult choices and potentially put at risk funding for critical work on the preservation and maintenance of roads in every community. And here I'm thinking gas tax money goes to the preservation of roads. So I was very confused when I saw this because, one, you're talking about CCA money and billions of dollars from a Climate Commitment Act fund that you're saying would mean we can't, if it's taken away, we can't repair bridges and roads. I thought that this was about putting that money towards stuff that was helping the environment, not funding basic maintenance on bridges and roads. We already have revenue streams that do that. So what in the world are you talking about? So at first glance, I knew that just wasn't true, but I gotta love Representative Drew Stokesbury. He's a Republican, but before he became the Republican leader in the House, he was like the budget guy on the Republican side. And I've had him on the show a lot to talk about budget issues because he's just very sharp on it. And he called out Senator Liias for just flat out lying, and he provided the receipts. He provided the whole breakdown of the 2023-2025 transportation budget Climate Commitment Act spending. So specifically, all of the line items for any CCA money that's going to anything transportation related. And he said, Senator, not a dime of CCA revenue goes to maintenance and preservation of our highways. None of it, not one dime of CCA money, goes to what Mark Liias said in his tweets would be at risk if you repeal the CCA. To which Senator Liias responds, cutting $5 billion from transportation will mean cuts to everything. So the CCA money that's dedicated to transportation-related projects is climate-related transportation projects. I mean, this is pork. These are pet projects. These are things that Democrats want, that they're happy they have. Green transit grants, pedestrian and bicycle safety grants, electrifying our ferry fleet. This is not money to make sure our bridges don't fall down. This is not money to make sure that our highways are in good repair. That's what he wants you to believe, but that's just not true. And when you look at the line item, it's a very easy lie to disprove. So what he's saying is essentially that they want to keep all these programs that the CCA has helped them fund. So we're going to keep it all. We want to do all these things. So if you take away the CCA money, what? You're going to take money, existing revenue that's meant to maintain bridges and roads, and you're going to put it toward green transit grants instead? You're going to put it toward pedestrian and bicycle safety grants instead? That would be on you, Senator, if you decide to take critical funding for the very basics of maintaining our transportation system and put it into your climate pet projects because voters decide to repeal the CCA. That would be a choice that you make. So these are just demonstrable lies. And on top of all of that, like, let's just say that the CCA was funding transportation, like road repairs and bridges. I thought the CCA was about helping the environment. So even if Mark Liias were telling the truth, which he's not, I thought the CCA was specifically about helping the environment. So both things can't be true. I mean, either this is about dedicating money toward climate projects, which the governor has said, and which the line items show that money is going toward climate-related projects, or it's going toward funding basic government needs. which we know is not true. So the lies on this have just been insane. It's important that you're ready to see through those lies, to do the research on your own, to find media outlets that are going to help give you the context that you need to understand what's happening, because this will be a really crazy 9 months in terms of trying to sort through what's true and what's false. That segment was brought to you in partnership with our friends over at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org.